everyone, this is Chris. Thank you for joining me. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how easy it is to make some earrings. So I'm going to start this tutorial very easily with very few materials I'm sure that you might have home. And also please think that you can adapt this to the materials that you have. You don't have to do exactly what I have or go and run the same materials. Do with what you have. I'm sure that will be fine. So I'm going to show you first my earrings that I did a few minutes ago, and they're so fun to do. So I'm going to show you how to do these and then these. It's exactly the same thing, but it's just the pendant that is different. The earring findings, if you wish, that is different. And I've used acrylic beads for this and acrylic leaves. And I'm going to show you one other thing is how you can color these, because some of them come already with color in it and some others don't. And it's nice when you can buy something that is either white or translucent, and that's another earring. It's hard to see because actually you need to see it from the front. But this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like on the side. And they're really cute. So you can put as much or as few as you wish. And it's really not complicated. So materials I have used here are some acrylic leaves and acrylic flowers. So I've ordered these on, I think it was on AliExpress, but you can find these as well on Amazon. I need to go back a little bit because I'm too close now. So and I'm wearing gloves. I will tell you why in just a second. So these are very lightweight. That's the advantage of acrylic. You can have these also in glass, but glass is much heavier. And for rings, I don't like when it's too heavy because it usually ends up by hurting my ears after an hour or two. So I prefer using acrylic. And also it's very cheap. And you can have a whole pack of these. I don't know how many there are, but maybe 200 or 300 in here, and for just a couple of bucks. So it's really worth it. I'll try to put the link underneath in the video description if I can find it, because I have these for a while. And I have another shape of leaves here that are the ones I showed you, and they're a little darker, and they're kind of in the shape of heart. I really like them as well. They're kind of cute, but I'm going to show you how you can change the color. Here are the exact same leaves, but I just changed the color because I wanted something a little darker. So you can do that, especially with acrylic, and also it's still very shiny, as you can see here. It's just a little darker, but they are the same leaves. And I've done another example here. I changed it a little bit to have more like fall colors, so you can use that. And what do I use for this? It's only alcohol ink. So you can use Pinata. I'm in love with the Pinata because the colors are so bright, but you can also use any kind of re-inker. Here it's Ranger, from this one is Tim Holtz, but any kind of alcohol-based re-inkers is going to work with this. Better than acrylic paint. You could do it, but it's going to end up being opaque. If you use this, it's going to be transparent, and this is absolutely the look I want. I've got other beads here that I bought that way, and they're actually a little frosted, so you can find them in colors as well. And when I bought the flowers here, these are translucent flowers. They're just translucent. And these are the ones that I have colored, and I'm going to show you how. So you will need some little flowers and leaves. The size, it's totally up to you if you want to have a big earring, if you want to have smaller earrings. And you will need some little baggies like this that can, like Ziploc bags. I chose these because they're quite small and it's much convenient. If you want to do in a big batch, just use bigger plastic bags. I think it's going to be better. And what I've done here, and I would consider coloring your pieces first to let them dry a little bit, and then once completely dry, assemble the whole thing. So what I've used here is a piece of wax paper, and underneath I have put some aluminum foil just because it might seep through and I don't want to stain my table. So I've already worked on that a few minutes ago, and I'm going to show you with the leaves how you can color them. So I'm just going to open my bag, and you can reuse it over and over again as long as you stay with the same color. That's just fine. So I'm going to open my bag, put a little bit of these inside, just because I need them to be a little darker. Okay, and then I'm gonna choose a color, and I need a dark green. So a little bit, and I'm just gonna put 1 drop here. And if it's not enough, you can always come back and add a little more. So I'm putting my bottle into my bag. I'm giving just a little squirt. You have only 1 drop. Closing this well, I don't want my alcohol to evaporate. And then I'm going to make sure with my fingers that the paint is going everywhere. Or my ink, if you prefer. And I use gloves because sometimes it seeps through, or I'm going to touch them with my fingers and it's not completely dry, and it's going to stain my fingers, and I don't want that. So I would consider, even when you use a bag, to use some gloves to protect your fingers. Especially if you just did a manicure, you really want to go with a pair of gloves. So when I think it's okay, I'm just going to check, and I'm going to put these and open them. I'm not going to leave them in the bag to dry. I'm going to put them here on my sheet of wax paper, and I'm going to separate them. I'm just going to be sure that they don't dry on top of each other, they don't touch each other, because they might stick. So now I'm going to take another leaf as a reference, and you can see now, and I'm going to go a little closer, that the color really changed. And if you want them even darker, put a little bit more. If you think the color is not good, you can add a little bit of yellow, and it will go a little darker. And if you're really not pleased, use alcohol. Since it's alcohol based, use alcohol, rubbing alcohol. You put it in a clean bag, you put all your pieces together, and they're going to go just like before. So that's the way you can tint them, and that's exactly what I did. I'm going to show you this with my flowers, exactly the same process. And I really like to do this because I have my own colors that I can make. If I can't find what I want, I'm just going to make them. I wanted something really bright, a bright yellow. So I'm going to use my piñatas because that's what I have. Just 1 drop. Shut it close. Again, I don't want this to evaporate. And again, I'm really mixing everything well together, making sure that the ink is going everywhere on my flowers. Sometimes it may not be perfect. Maybe your ink is not going to go everywhere. Well, you know what? I think it's almost even better because leaves are not just one color. When you look a leaf or even a flower from close, sometimes you see there's a light spot or a darker spot. They're never just one plain color. That's the beauty of nature. So I'm rubbing here very well. And I can't really see now because my bag is also colored, so I'm going to check. And there you go. Oops. Now I have yellow flowers, and they're just as they're perfect. I mean, oops, I need to go this way. Let's do it. Yeah. Can you see this? For me, they're absolutely perfect. It's exactly the color I wanted. Nothing too light. These are the one that I bought. It's a little pale to me, and they're frosted, but I didn't want something frosted. I wanted something more translucent. So you can do this. This is what I done here in blue. Oops, where it is. It's here. I've done the same in blue, and I've done the same here in pink. It's reddish, a reddish pink. Also using piñatas or Ranger alcohol refills. You know, it's absolutely the same. So again, separate them so they don't touch each other while drying. When they're dry, it's going to take about 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, depending on the temperature of your room. Then you'll be able to use them. So I'm still going to keep my gloves on for now. I'm going to put this aside, take these away because I can already use them. So even if it's colored, you can reinforce the color. So now what I'm going to do, in order to make my earrings, I have earrings findings like this, but I decided to make my own a very simple way if you don't have any, but maybe if you have a wire Or if you have, let me take one that is not twisted. I have these for a long time. That's good. And I'm going to find another one. Perfect. So I'm going to take one with a little ball on top. Can you see this? Yes. Okay, so I'm going to take one, and this is also going to be, this little ball here is going to be the center of my flower. So that's perfect. So let me see. I might take these yellow one that I already did before. And I'm going to take a darker leaf and I'm going to put them together. And because I have this rounded shape there, it hangs on to my flower. My flower is not going anywhere. Can you see this? Okay, it stops the flower. And then what I'm going to do here, I'm going to bend it straight up like this. Okay, and I'm going to have to cut a little bit because it's going to be too long. So there I have it. It's going to look like this from the from when you're facing your flowers, actually. Okay. Then I'm going to use a very, very hard tool to find, and it's going to be the back of the paintbrush. Nothing fancy. It's going to work just fine. And I would do this at the same time. I would do my two earrings at the same time. I'm just going to show you one. Because it's easier on the camera, just to make sure that you're going to bend your earring at the same level so they will be even. So once you're at this point, you put your flower here and your leaf straight in your direction, and you're just going to bend here your wire where you want it. So I'm bending it perfectly backwards. Okay, so far this is what I have. And I'm going to put it this way, right? But this is way too long. Can you see this? This is way too long. So I'm just going to use some wire cutters. There. And to make sure I'm not going to lose my earrings, what I'm going to do is take flat nose pliers and I'm going to bend these. Just a little bit, few, maybe 2, 3, 16, 11" from the end. Can you see this? Okay, and I'm gonna twist it slightly on the back like this, and it's still maybe a bit too long. And there you go, you've got your pair of earrings. Okay, and if you want to put a stopper here, an earring backing, well, you can find these again. Maybe for $100, you're going to pay a few cents on AliExpress, and I'm sure you can find these as well on Amazon. And you can use these plastic ones if you like them. Usually it's you don't have any allergies, so that's a good point. And your earrings are done. So here I've just used yellow and green, so you may not see much, but of course you can do any other color like the one I used before that are pink, reddish pink, I must say. No, this one is really a bright pink. This one is a bright pink. Look at that. How cute is this? Really. And you've done that in seconds. Realize this? It could be for a child, but also for an adult, because honestly, when I did this a few minutes ago, my neighbor came home. She asked me for something, and she saw my earrings. I was trying my earrings on, and she said, "Oh my God, I want these. Let me buy them to you." So, and I mean, she's not 20 years old either, so it can absolutely be gorgeous for any kind of ears, and very lightweight. And if you have bigger leaves, you can do this with bigger leaves. I do have bigger leaves, but I don't have bigger flowers. The leaves I have are really, really big, and the flower on this completely disappears. So I need to buy maybe bigger flowers in order to use them, or maybe I could use this as a pendant and make a whole bunch of flowers like this on top of it. This could be a necklace. I need to think about it first, make some tries before I show this to you. And also I have decided to paint these in a more fall color, because this is more springy. This is more autumn. So I took the same leaf again, and I'm going to show you that, because you can mix and match your colors. So let me go back to these. And I'm going to use another leaf. Where is it? It's here. So there's my leaf. Okay. And first I'm going to use, and I think it's this one. I think it's enough if I use this one. It's just a brown ink. And this one is not going down. This is weird. Yes, it is. Okay, that's good. And maybe what you didn't see before, but my leaf is carved. There's raised areas, and it's going to, my ink is going to go on all these areas that are sink into or that are raised. So it's going to be very interesting. You can see the design that you couldn't really see before unless you look them from very close. So if you want, you can add a little more. Maybe wait in between when it's completely dry to add more to see really how it's going to turn out. Because sometimes when you put too much, it's not going to look so nice. So it's better to go little by little and add more. But I really like the look of it right now. And this is a more autumn look to it, because when I like this period when the leaves start to change and they have these orangey, reddish color and still a little bit of green. I think it's absolutely awesome. So this is the look I wanted to go for, and you can still use an orangey maybe flower on top. That would be nice, I think. Or another pinkish, maybe more red color. Do I have more red? Or this one is red as well. I don't know what's best. You tell me which one you prefer. Maybe the orangey, I don't know. Because this brown, with this brown, you can really use what you want. Don't try not to touch it before it's completely dry. I don't know what color. Maybe the orangey one, and darken it up a little bit or make it pop out a little more. And you can darken this if you wanted to. You don't have to leave it as is. That's what I like in these crafty things, is that you can mix and match different materials. Normally inks are made for crafting or scrapbooking, but now you can use them in jewelry as well. And coloring something that you want even darker. Look at this. Same leaf, that's my starting point. And now I've got these two colors. And it's the same thing with these other leaf I have. This one is really, really light. Can you see this one? That's how they come in the bag. And I've darkened them up again. That's exactly what I did here. And if I want them a little darker, I can go ahead. If I want them a little brown, I can do it also. You can use a paintbrush if you really want to be very precise, but I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And I'm going to show you another pair of earrings that I did, because I wanted to use these small earrings, but the problem is they didn't want to stay well together. So I decided I was going to glue them. And you can do that, because what I wanted to have as a shape is two leaves like this. Again, I'm going to do a little close-up. I wanted two leaves like this and a red one in the middle, okay? That's exactly what I wanted. But the two leaves, when you put them on a wire, they won't stay like this. Let me show you. I'm going to put my flower first, then one leaf, and then the other. The problem is that they're going to stay like this. Okay, one on top of each other. You can't even see there are two leaves. So once they were colored, you can do it before or after. That's totally up to you. You can glue them together. And what I have done to make sure that I was not going to lose my hole here is that I used a one of these pins. I put my two leaves together. Put them down. There they are. And then I used a little bit of how do you call this? Super glue. Oops, Oops, and this one is flowing. I don't know why. There's too much coming out. And I'm just going to put a tiny bit here. I'm not crazy usually about these quick drying glues, but that's good. I'm going to leave it to dry, and I've already did it here. Now I'm going to be able to take my pin off, and my two leaves are staying together, which I think it's nicer if I put it here. So yeah, you can arrange them. Think about maybe gluing them together if you have no way to getting exactly the results you want. So now if I take another pin that is nicer, I take this one. Again, I'm going to take my flower, and I know that my two holes are pretty aligned now, and there you go. And I can do exactly what I have done before with my other pair of earrings that I showed you. I think these are pretty cute as well. And if it's not shiny enough, what you can do is use a little bit of Mod Podge, glossy Mod Podge, and go over it if you wanted to. That would also protect the color. But because it's alcohol ink, it's made for non-porous surfaces, so it's going to work just fine. So I'm going to show you this again. I'm going to use my paintbrush, decide where I want to have my bend. I'm going to bend it this way. This is what I'm going to have now. Again, this is too long, so I am going to cut it a little bit. I just eyeball it and then make this little curve on the back. And if it's too long, I tend to leave this long tail. I might just smudge away, and now I have a perfect earring. So the wire you should use this for should be kind of a stiff wire, because if it's too flimsy, it might loses its shape. So I don't know what gauge it is, because that's the way I just order them, and they're on AliExpress, but some of them are very flimsy. They would not be excellent for this kind of project. Something that is a little stiffer, okay, that would be good. And now I've got my earrings. Look at these, and they're still moving around. Can you see that? I think they're darn cute. So there you go. I'm going to show them again. How nice is this? These little wire hoops, or loops I should say. You've got also this one. It's just a try. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it like this, because it's a bit, there's a lot, but I think it's still very nice. So you can put as much again, or as many of you as you want, as few as you want, and I just think they're darn cute. Please, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give me some thumbs up. Also, subscribe to this channel and hit the bell button to get all the notifications, and also share on social medias. Thank you very much. Take care and see you soon. Bye-bye.